we specialize just in YouTube advertising. That's all we do day in, day out. Google search ads are the most competitive, most expensive click on the planet. The first thing they do is they've done Facebook ads and they have a video for Facebook ads and they put Facebook video ad onto YouTube. It doesn't work very well. A Facebook ad's supposed to grab their attention and stop the scroll, and you don't need to do that on YouTube.
No hustle, worship here, we're a different breed. Action is what we got if action is what you need. Content capitalists, we're breaking the mold. Cause the old ways fading, new stories to be told. So content capitalists, get to the prize.
This is the Content Capitalist Podcast, and my name is Ken Okazaki. There are as many ways to make money with content as there are people doing it. So listen in as my clients, past, present, and future, unpack how they crack the code to making $1 million a year or more while capitalizing on their content. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Content Capitalist Podcast, where I have conversations with people who are crushing it with their content. Today I've got a guest with me. His name is Marcus Svedin, and he absolutely dominates in an area where I am not so familiar. And when it comes to video marketing, there are things that I'm great at, and there are things that other people are much better than me at. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Marcus, the thing that caught my eye when we started conversing, I went to your website and it says here, how to add an extra $100,000 in sales in 100 days. So for two reasons, I like how you got the title 100,000 days, and also YouTube ads, because I've got clients who are literally spending over $10 million a month on ads with Facebook. Mm-hmm. But on YouTube, that's kind of, unfamiliar territory for me. So I'm really looking forward to seeing for you what's working. And I also see you have a huge stack of testimonials, which tells me not only it works for you, but you're helping others to figure out how it can work for themselves. First of all, could you just kind of give us a 30,000 foot view? What is it you do? Who do you help? And how do you help them?
So basically, we specialize just in YouTube advertising. That's all we do day in, day out. We started doing that probably 3 years ago, somewhere around there, just before coronavirus hit. We started getting video advertising. And the reason we did that is because we were doing a lot of Facebook ads at the time for a few of the people. And I don't know, we just had like our own account got shut down for who knows.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
And, yeah, sorry. And so we were trying to do an event, like a workshop, and all of a sudden Facebook shuts us down for like 2.5 weeks, somewhere around there. And we can't do any advertising, right? So like, well, what do we do? And so we're like, well, we could just try YouTube ads. So we're like, okay, cool. So we just, at the time, just completely just had no idea, just throwing ourselves at it, no idea really what we're doing. And so we threw together a video ad. We kind of did a bit of due diligence and looked at some other video ads and kind of put something together, and then just started throwing money at it. And it worked really well, like really well. And then over time, we've been able to, perfect our craft and get to know the platform really well and the structure of a YouTube ad and that sort of thing. And so that's kind of what we do and how we got into doing YouTube advertising.
Got it.
Now, who we do it for? We usually do it. Our ideal human to do advertising for on YouTube is someone who's looking for lead generation, who's already spending money on, like, for example, like Facebook ads or Google search ads, right? That's probably, and it's like, so these like coaches, consultants, service-based businesses, those sort of things, even like local businesses who want to get bigger exposure to their store, to their brand, that sort of thing. We can help them with getting, helping them become to not be the best kept secret through YouTube ads. And so that's that's who we help.
Okay. Thanks for giving us that. Now, Marcus, I'm really curious because as an entrepreneur myself, I know that there's what's happening right now, what seems to be working, and then what did you do to get to where you are? So let's go back to when you first had your first entrepreneurial venture, whether it's selling candy at school or flipping stuff on eBay. What was that for you?
Well, my first, oh man. Okay, my my first entrepreneurial business, what you could say, was I used to collect a lot of like X-Men and football cards in the States growing up, like little Marvel cards and comic cards, whatever. And there was like this. Do you know like the little finger snowboards like back in the day?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you have like a little snowboard and it like
tiny little ramps and little rails
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah. That's right. And so what I did was I basically just took I went and bought one, and then I went out and I bought some like thin cardboard, and I just traced a bunch of templates of these little snowboards, and then I would take some of my comic cards or my football cards, and I'd cut out the shape of the snowboard on the card. And then I just glue the comic cards to the character or the football player onto the snowboard, and then I take them to school and I'd sell them for 25 cents a piece, right? And I don't know, I reckon I would have made at least $50 doing that as a kid, like, and that was huge because I would just take that and I'd go buy some more football cards. But yeah, that was probably my first little side hustle, you know, as a 10-year-old, you know. And then like, you know, me and my friend of mine, we did our own like lawn care business when I was like 12, and his name was Matt, and so we called it M&M mowing or something like that. And yeah, that we did that, and we made a few $100 doing that, and which we bought more football cards with, and yeah, so that was probably my first little side hustles. But it wasn't until 2016 I started really like kind of getting into it. So I'm an industrial electrician by trade. I've done it for over a decade, done it for a while, and 2016 came, and I started getting into affiliate marketing, right? And like started spending my own money on advertising, that sort of thing. And I sucked at it, and I realized, nah, it's not really for me. But I can understand that everyone needs traffic, right? Everyone whether you're a local brick and mortar business or if you're an online business, whatever, everyone needs traffic. So I started looking at different versions, different ways of traffic that I could get into. And I got into email marketing, started doing that, did okay with that. And then I started getting the Facebook ads. So then I started helping people Facebook ads. And then that's when me and my business partner, Ben Jones, right now, when we kind of teamed up, because he was good at sales processes and selling, and I was good at, you know, marketing and advertising and messaging, that sort of thing. And that's when we formed Titan Marketer. But that was after I did my knee in. So I was at like a trampoline indoor arena place. And I was jumping from one trampoline to another trampoline. And because I was there with my son, right? He was, at that time, I think he was like 10, 12 at the time. Well, I forgot that, you know, I'm not young anymore. Like I'm not 12, 13 years old anymore. And so when I jumped from one trampoline to another trampoline, when I came down, my knee, it like went to go dislocate, and it popped back into place. But my ACL got ripped in half. My MCL came off. My PCL got damaged. Meniscus got damaged. Like I did a proper job with my knee.
So sorry.
So I couldn't work I couldn't do my electrical job for about a year.
Mm.
And yeah, no, it was the most painful experience of my life. And but it kind of forced me to, take my marketing thing to the next level. And so that's basically how I got into doing this full time now.
That makes so much sense. Sometimes it's not our own decisions that take us to the catalyst that get us to what we really want to do. It's a forced situation like COVID, for example, or your injury. I see that a lot. Tell me about what's the transition that happened between, you said you grew up in Florida, obviously now you're in Australia, and you're speaking more like an Australian than an American, which happens if you hang out there for a while. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So I lived in Florida for about 19 years. I was born there. And then 2004, I went on, I came to Australia for 6 months after I graduated from high school. And while I was here, I met my wife, Emma. And after that 6 months, I was back in America. And then I went on a mission for my church, 2004. And when I came home, I was like, well, I'm a dual citizen, right? I have Australian American passports. So I was like, my dad's like, what are you doing? And I was like, my original plan before I met Emma was to go to the Air Force to get an electrical engineering degree, right? But then I was like, no, I'm moving to Australia. See you later. So my dad's like, what? So yeah. So I just moved. I moved here.
It's a more attractive place. That's it.
Yeah. Well, this is where my wife lived. This is where my girlfriend was. I was like, I'm leaving. So yeah, and anyways, so I moved here in early 2005, and I got married 3 months later in April. And I've been married ever since, 4 kids. So
congratulations on that.
It's been pretty busy.
So tell me how entrepreneurship and like your relationship, how's that, has the marriage been like a boon or like an obstacle? Like, because a lot of people handle it different ways, and sometimes your spouses are extremely supportive, and sometimes they're just like, why don't you just get a job? Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, man. My wife, she's been very supportive with this whole thing. Well, let me phrase that. She's been very patient with this whole thing. There's a difference. There's a difference between patience and support, right? No, she has been supportive, but she's I'm a risk taker. She's the type of just go back to a normal job. Just go back to a normal job, and because like this, when you run your own business, there's so many ups and downs, and like in one day, it's like an emotional roller coaster. Like in the 24-hour period, like you're happy, excited, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this sucks, and I just can't. I can't. Like there have been some really rough times, times where I've had to put my own money into my business to keep paying my people. Just because we've just, when coronavirus hit, that was huge, man. That killed us. That really hurt us. But no, I couldn't do it without her. Like if she was like dead set against it, like, yeah, like it's me or it's the business. Well, I don't have much of a choice there, do I? But no, she's been very patient with it. And so, which I've been very blessed that she has been patient with it. So,
okay. Well, glad to hear that.
It's been good. It's been helpful.
Yeah. So let's talk about like the iteration of your business you're in right now. I know that you're helping other people set up their YouTube ads. I think you're probably also doing services and doing YouTube ads for clients. So there's a bit of training, there's a bit of agency work. Tell me about how did you evolve into that stage? And then after that, I want to go into let's actually talk about how people can get started today.
Yeah. So we did do agency. We still do the agency, but agency is just a smaller part of our business now. The biggest part is the teaching. I love teaching. I actually went to university for 2 years to study teaching, right? But I love teaching it because it gives business owners the opportunity to captain their own ship, right? Like if you run an online marketing, if you run like an online business of some sort, and you don't have any, you can't, and you just go to an agency to run your traffic, you're basically giving them the wheel to your ship, right? Because if you don't have no traffic, that's it, you're dead, right? And so when you can control your own traffic and the flow of it, it gives you as a business owner way more control, right? And it just gives the business owner knowledge. So if he does, or if he or she does decide to go to an agency, and they have an understanding of how the platform works, that they can't be taken for fools. Like they can't be taken for granted, right? And so that's why I like the teaching part. Now we do have the agency side where we do it for them, but we're very strict with who we take on. Like they already have to be spending at least $5 to $6 grand a month on advertising before we take them on.
Yeah, it's hard
that means
total
they already
beginners,
have
right?
a proven. Yeah, it's it. They already have a proven sales process, right? Yeah. And so if they have a proven sales process, we can make it work like pretty dang quick. So, but if someone comes to us and says, "Oh, I'm a beginner," and they have a good idea, but they don't have a proven sales process, and they don't. It's very, very hard, very hard.
So how did you? So you started with the agency, and then were you from the beginning planning on training it, or training how to do it versus doing it for them, or was this an eventuality that occurred somewhere in between?
We started with the agency because at the time, that's what people wanted. The people around us, people we knew, that's what they wanted. They just wanted it done for them. So yep, no worries. So we did it for them. But then as we got better and better and more knowledgeable at this, we were like, well, we'd rather coach it, because when you're coaching, it's a different relationship with the client. And I like the coach-student relationship rather than the business owner agency relationship. And so we just said, let's just slowly transition to coaching it and teaching it. And that's what we did. So then we started doing some online events. Now we're doing we do live events now in Perth, Sydney, and Brisbane. We're actually going to Social Media World Conference in February in San Diego. We've been invited to that. So we'll be speaking.
I was just there last year. I was a sponsor there. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. So we'll be going there in February next year, speaking on stage there. So really excited about that.
Are you finding that speaking works well to to bring you leads to your coaching business?
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Like I love speaking from stage when you have a room full of people. Like I love the energy. I just love this. Like I'm a social butterfly.
Yeah. It's so interesting you bring that up, because in January, I'm going to be speaking at TNC in Vegas, and they just gave me my homework, to prepare the talk. So I just got this yesterday. So I'm just this is already really fresh in my mind. And traveling from Japan to there, and from Perth, it's a long trip. So you really want to make your 30 minutes or 1 hour worth it, right? So yeah, I'm really going through that in my mind. Okay, what do I talk? Because I've done tons of talks, but traveling's primarily for a talk. Well, I'm also sponsoring. I've got a booth and everything, but well, I'm just trying to figure out what do I put out in front. So maybe I'll circle back with you later and figure out your strategy on what to prioritize, because you can talk about anything forever, but Like, what's the one thing that's going to be most impactful for those 30 minutes? And
that's it. That's it.
It's tough. All right. Well, let's talk about the audience. I'm sure by now they're frothing at, okay, how do you get to $100,000 in 100 days? And break that down for me.
So basically, it's a game of patience. It's a game of patience. And what you want to do... 100
days sounds pretty fast, though.
It is pretty fast. Okay. So what you want to do is basically with YouTube advertising, and this only happens if you're already have a sales process that's been proven and works.
Okay.
Right. Otherwise,
so when you say sales process, let's break down what that means. Here's what I understand. You got to wait for people to first get, see additional education, means some testimonials, some frameworks, a little bit of like, a write-up about who you do, what you do. There's a way for them to book an appointment with you. The appointment has some automation with follow-up SMS and email, and it'll get booked on mutual calendars. You have a sales script that'll convert 30%-ish or higher. And then you have a retention rate of, maybe an average sale will be anywhere from 10 to 30,000. That's how I look at it. Is that kind of like what you're
you're pretty much on
okay.
spot. So basically, you already have a landing page that converts.
Okay.
Right. It's been proven. It's been tested. Yeah, you have the testimonial social proof.
Whether it's from Facebook or organic or whatever, right?
Whether it's from Facebook or not necessarily organic. Well,
like
the organic
meaning SEO.
Yeah, SEO, yeah. Like from cold audiences, right? Like if you say like content organic, like people who know you already, that's a different
email or something is different, right?
Yeah, it's completely different.
Okay.
So
cold
you already
traffic.
have like a landing page that converts cold traffic into leads.
Okay.
Right. And then you have a system in the back end. So it could be like a book a call where you get on a call with someone, or it could be a webinar or event or something like that. Okay.
Makes sense.
So that's what I mean by sales process. And then obviously like the email follow-up, the texting, SMS follow-up, reminders, that sort of stuff. So that's already in place. So then what you do is you put in $1,000 into advertising with YouTube. Okay.
Assuming that you've got an ad, right?
Assuming that you have an ad. Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't take very long to create an ad script and shoot the ad.
Especially with AI.
So with the process, yeah, exactly. With the process that we have, the AI will create the foundation of your ad script. We have a whole process on that. And then you just tidy it up a little bit, like AI is great, but it's not perfect yet, And then basically you go and shoot your ad. You can get ads shot in a couple hours if you do it right. Mm-hmm. So once your ads are created, right, what you do is you can start about $1,000 and you put in $1,000, right? And with that $1,000, right, you're just testing your ad. Okay. And within the first month, okay, so I kind of have a graph with this whole presentation on it, but it's kind of hard right now. But anyways,
is this something that if people click a link that's below this podcast description or the YouTube description, they'd be able to get access to that or something?
We actually don't have access to this.
Okay,
right
so this
now.
is like
we do it during our live presentations.
All right.
And so
I'm trying to get people into your funnel, man.
That's a good idea.
I'm trying to get people into your funnel for you.
That's a good idea. So basically, you invest $1,000 into your YouTube advertising.
Yeah.
Okay. And within the first month, you'll get that $1,000 back. For sure. You'll at least break even. Right?
30 days.
And what you do
and at what
is
sales point is this product that you're advertising on average?
So so usually this works well with the lifetime value of clients is like $2,000 plus.
Okay. So we're talking pretty low end.
I say $1,000 because $1,000 is almost anyone can invest $1,000, right, in advertising. So then what happens usually in the first month, you'll get that $1,000 back at least. And I'm just trying to be conservative numbers here. Mm-hmm. And then what you do is just a series of reinvesting that money you get back, right? And then what happens is over a period. Now it's actually not 100 days. It's actually like 100 and by day 150, right? You actually can make $100,000. But those first like 50 days, you're just like testing. You're testing ads, you're testing audiences. But basically what you're doing is you're just reinvesting the money that you make back into your advertising, right? And during that whole period, you're testing ads, audiences, you're split testing your landing pages, you're improving your sales script.
And this is what you coach people through, this whole iteration and testing
whole
process.
This whole thing. That's right. And then there'll be a 100-day period there, right? It's usually about day 150, but between day 50 and day like 150, you've made $100,000.
And this is all just by reinvesting the $1,000
just by
and compounding it.
Split testing, testing ads, testing new audiences, and then bam, you've made $100,000 in 100 days, in a 100-day period, right?
Amazing.
So that's kind of how it works, and it works really well. But the problem is people don't tend to be patient. And so they'll start messing with campaigns and settings, and and I'm like, no, just leave it. So yeah, there's a whole process to it that we go through in our program. Yeah. But
so what mistakes do people make when you say they like? What are the mistakes that you see a lot? Let's say people come to you and it's like, I tried YouTube ads, it's not working. Like, could you help me fix it? They come into your program and right away, they're gonna have done A, B, C, and D that fuck things up. Like, what is that? Yeah.
So the first thing they do is they've done Facebook ads and they have a video for Facebook ads and they put Facebook video ad onto YouTube. Okay. Doesn't work very well.
Okay, tell me what's the difference.
So it's structured differently, right? So like a Facebook ad's supposed to like grab their attention and stop the scroll and whatnot, right? You don't need to do that on YouTube. On YouTube, yes, you need to grab their attention, but you have 5 seconds, right? This is a skippable in-stream ad. So you have 5 seconds to grab their attention, like call out who your dream human is before they hit the skip button, right? And so the structure of a YouTube ad is hook, right? And then we call it an elevator pitch, and then your story, and then your close. So with your hook, as I said, you call out your dream human. Who do you want to speak to? And so, for example, one of my favorite hooks is, is your Facebook advertising turning your hair 50 shades of gray? Right? And so right then and there, not quick.
That's an adult audience for sure.
yeah. And so, and that quick 3 seconds when I said that, I'm talking to people who are already spending money on Facebook ads and they're frustrated with it. Right. And that's who I want to talk to. I want to talk to people who are already spending money.
How important is the humor in that? Because of that kind of reference you made there. Like how big a role?
Humor is a big thing. Yeah. Humor, because it keeps people, attention. It keeps them entertained. So if you can entertain someone, so if you can give people value at the same time you're entertaining them, man, you're going to do very well. You do very, very well. So you have your hook, right? And then you have your elevator pitch. Now, in your elevator pitch, what you're doing is you're kind of telling people why they should listen to you, who you are, why they should listen to you, and what value you're going to give to them in the ad, why they should keep listening, right? So, and this goes for about 25 seconds. So just imagine, right, you're going into a big building, like a skyscraper, whatever, and you go into the top of the building to speak to the boss and why you should get a raise or pitch an idea to him or what it might be. Get to the top and he walks into the elevator with you and he's going down. So you basically have from the top of the building to the bottom of the building to pitch your idea to him, right? And so, which that usually goes for like 25 seconds. So that's what we call an elevator pitch.
Okay.
So that's the elevator pitch.
So you're gonna, like, let's say typically, let's say somebody's got a beauty salon, right? And they're trying to get more walk-in customers so do they go all the way from, hey, by the way, we're based in, New York, Saks Avenue, and this is what we do. This is the kind of look you're going to get. And like how pitchy do you get at that 25 seconds? You said elevator pitch. So I'm just wondering, like,
you don't really get, it's not a pitch. So you're not really,
okay. So
it's not pitching.
So what are we actually saying in that period?
So you're telling them why they should listen to you.
Okay.
So for example, I would say, for example, hi, my name is, oh, no, for hook, who go, is Facebook advertising turning your hair into shades of gray, right? Hi, my name is Marcus Svedin, co-founder, type marketer, and I help my students and clients achieve an extra 6 to 7 figures, or so add an extra 6 to 7 figures to their business using simple YouTube ads just like this. And in this video, I'm going to show you boom, 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 boom.
Okay. So it's an education stack that you're putting there.
Yeah,
like,
it's
keep
like an
watching because
so
you're going to learn something of value.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So you're not really you're pitching yourself to them.
You're pitching them to continue listening, pretty much.
To continue listening, that's right.
Okay.
So you're not pitching your offer yet.
Okay.
Right, or anything like that.
Kind of spring loading the value.
Yeah. Right. You're kind of pre-framing the ad before they get into it.
Got it.
So that's what the elevator pitch is, right? And then you have the story, and then in the story, it's where you give the value. You entertain, you educate, right? You give them what you promised in the elevator pitch, and then you have the close, right? And the close is where you tell them to take an action. Now, the close is very important. You don't want to go, so to discover more or to book a call, just click below, blah, 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 blah. Boring. No. What you want to do is you want to sell the click. So if you would like to add an extra 6 to 7 figures to your business, right? Or if you'd like to add an extra 100K in 100 days to your business, using simple YouTube ads just like this, click on the link below. Right? You see the difference?
Yeah.
So
if you'd like to have that Pamela Anderson hair with the, Kylie Jenner lips, click the link below, show up, and we'll fix you, and we'll make you look like a superstar or something, right?
That's it. So you need to sell the click. And that's a really, really big, important thing that a lot of people don't do. They just say, so to book your discovery call, watch the webinar.
Talk to our sales team.
That's it. Okay. So you have a hook, your elevator pitch, your story, and then your close.
Okay. Now, when they click, I know on Facebook, they've got like on-platform tools to collect leads and stuff. On YouTube, they don't, right? That's going to go straight to your landing page if they click. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So when they click on that button below, they go straight to wherever it is you want to
send.
And
that landing page had better load fast, it better look attractive.
Yes.
And
yes.
And do you take people to like
3 second load speed?
3 second
load speed on mobile devices.
And is it like a single purpose page where the only thing they can possibly do is put in their email and hit next? Or like, do you take them to like some additional things where there's a little bit more value, some testimonials and stuff like that? Tell me about that.
If it's lead gen, so if you're looking for like webinar, sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. If it's lead gen, so if you send them to like a webinar or an event or a book a call or what it might be, landing page, 2 actions. They can leave or they can give you the details. That's it, right? If you're like a local business, you can send them to your website, to your homepage, whatever. We have a fishing store called Tackle World here in Perth, and we send them straight to the website, and it works really well for them. That's if you're like a local business. So if like a salon, for your example, I'd send them straight to my homepage. But if you're looking for like online lead gen, a landing page where they can just take one action of like submitting their details. That's it. That's what I would do. And make sure the page looks good on mobile devices and make sure it loads on mobile devices within about 3 seconds. Yeah.
Cool. Couple questions are coming up as we go through all this. When the videos primarily these days, are you doing mobile first, like landscape mode, or desktop first? Not landscape, portrait versus desktop. What are you prioritizing today?
So with all of our ads, we do it on landscape.
Okay.
Right. So we do landscape. If you want to like YouTube Shorts, needs to be portrait.
Yeah.
Okay. but almost all of our ads are landscape.
And what's the
because that
reasoning?
comes up well on desktop and it comes up well on mobile as well.
Are you feeling like the landscape is also targeting a slightly more serious audience where they might be like, I'm sitting down to watch a show versus I'm on the toilet or the elevator, mindlessly scrolling through my feed? Well, let's be real. That's where it happens. It's the toilets and elevators and, or the bus stops, right? You just scroll. Whereas if I'm going to watch, like some videos are 30 minutes and I really want to sit down and watch that. And then if an ad comes up, I won't be so frustrated that I immediately flick off. I might just spend the 5 to 10 seconds patiently waiting. Whereas if it's a 30-second mystery box that might be total crap and it might be interesting, then as soon as the ad comes, I'm just like next. Does that kind of what drives that decision? Maybe.
We mostly do landscape because that's what we get the best results with.
Okay.
But that's what data drives all of our decisions, right?
Got it.
And so like we've done portrait stuff for like YouTube Shorts, but we haven't really had too much success with YouTube short ads. Not too sure why yet. I mean,
it's a very new format, so I think there's still a lot to figure out.
Yeah, and they're still testing stuff and whatnot with it, and I don't think I think it could be big, but if someone's sitting down just to watch a 1-minute YouTube short on someone catching a big fish or someone doing something stupid or whatever, like I don't know, but we haven't had too many good results just yet. That's not to say it's not going to be a big opportunity later on, but right now,
do what works.
Just landscape. So normal YouTube in-stream ads is the best way to go.
Now, as you coach your clients through this process, I know that the numbers can vary wildly depending on the product, depending on the market size, so many different things depending on the country. But within, let's say, like a 2-month period of like starting to work with you and learn, what ROAS should people be expecting at around the 2-month mark of applying everything you're learning?
That's a good question. So we have a client or a student of ours, Jono. He runs a fitness. He runs fitness online education with a friend of his, and they were doing Facebook ads, and he came to us, wanted to do YouTube ads. I said, yeah, no worries. Got him all set up. Within 2 months, he was doing 11x.
Wow.
11x. And we're like, dude, you should scale this. Like, you should he's like, I can't. I don't have the bandwidth. I'm like, well, get the bandwidth, like
make the sales.
I want you to do 100K in 100 days, man. And 11x.
That's pretty great, but what would the average you think be? Like let's say we're having a real conversation and then you said, look, I think you can expect this conservatively. What would a conservative estimate be?
Our minimum standard is 3 times.
3x. Okay.
3x. That's our minimum standard. And so within the first month and a bit, that's what we.
And if you're not earning that, then you would go in and try to figure out what's wrong. And is it ever like the product, you're like, you know what, your product is just not going to make it? Do you ever do that and tell them to go take the dog behind the shed and shoot it?
Well, yeah. We've had people come to us, but see, that's never, if people are already spending money in advertising, we've never had that. We've never had it with.
But with coaching clients, then you have people who are in for the education, right? So they could be anywhere.
So I say that again, son?
But with coaching clients, they might not already be. Like, would you take on coaching clients who are not spending money yet? They're there for the education.
Yeah, we would. Yeah. If they have a good product, right, and it is marketable, right. So we usually sit down with a call with them, and we make sure that we're a good fit for each other before anything's decided. And so so if they have a reasonable product and they want to look on the YouTube ads and sell the YouTube ads, we'll take them on if we feel like it'll work for them and help them. But we always say, look, this is a brand new process, a brand new product, brand new sales process. This is going to take time, right? You may not see a return in a couple months. because it's all brand new. It's all brand new. Where if someone comes to us and they're already spending $2,000-$3,000 a month in advertising on Facebook, oh yeah, that's easy. No worries. You can probably see return the first month. So yeah. So it's just, we just try to be as upfront with them as possible.
Yep.
For the jump on board.
Love it. Okay. I've got one more question here. And why should people choose YouTube over Facebook and vice versa? Like, are there certain industries or situations where you'd recommend the other way versus what you're doing?
E-commerce for Facebook.
Okay.
Like straight up. E-commerce for Facebook.
And why is that?
I don't know why e-commerce is so much better on Facebook. You can do well on Facebook, and we had a couple of clients that do well on Facebook, that do well on YouTube with their e-commerce, but it's not as good as on Facebook, right?
Understood.
I've yet to unravel that mystery, right? So e-commerce it's a bit better on Facebook. Lead generation, YouTube. Every day. The reason being is the targeting. The targeting on YouTube is next to none, right? So on Facebook, now don't get me wrong, Facebook is great, right? Facebook's great. We use Facebook, but mainly just for retargeting purposes. But on Facebook, you can really only target what people are interested in.
Yeah.
Right? What are their interests? Right? Obviously, you can target like demographics, right? But it's, I'm going to target someone who's a woman who likes surfing, cats, and chocolate. Okay, you can do that on Facebook, right? However, on YouTube, I can target people who type in certain search terms on the Google search bar, right?
So will it actually take into account all their past searches too when you're targeting people?
Yes,
it will. So.
Because Google has mountains and mountains of data.
So it's not necessarily what they're currently searching. Like if I run an ad on YouTube, a search on YouTube for dog grooming services near me or dog grooming, I might get served an ad from something I searched a month ago for used cars or something, right? Because
correct, but you also get served an ad. But if someone's advertising about dog grooming services on YouTube,
I'll get that too.
And they're targeting people who have typed in certain search terms on the Google search bar, right? Then their ad could show to you.
Amazing.
Right. So basically,
it's more intent based.
It's intent targeting. Yeah. It's intent targeting. So you're putting your ad in front of someone who is looking for certain services or some solution at that time or close to that time.
Yeah.
Right. So, and not just that, but you can also target, I don't know if you can do it on Facebook anymore, but you can target on household income. Right. So
you could do that on YouTube still?
Yeah.
Oh, Facebook took that away. I'm just like, no, that was my favorite thing. You can 10, kind of 20, try 30, to get 40. Around it by looking for, zip codes where what the average, income for that area is. But that's the only way I know of to get around it right now.
Yeah. So what you can do on because Google owns YouTube, right? Just make it very clear. Google owns YouTube. So what you can do with the YouTube advertising is you can say, look, I want to do New York, but the top 20% of income earners, and boom, right? You can target top 20% income earners. So if you like a super high ticket item, you can put your ads just in front of those types of people, right? So you can put your ad in front of someone who is looking for your product, who can afford your product, and who's ready to invest in your product, right? And that's the difference. So like what competitor websites, right? That is like my favorite type of targeting on YouTube is websites. It works so well, right? Anyone that's visiting these particular websites,
and you can target your competitors too, then, right?
You can target competitors, exactly,
Amazing.
Exactly. And so, like, if you're running Google search ads, right? Google search ads are the most competitive, most expensive click on the planet, right? Because it's like they're highly profitable because it's super high intent. Well, I can target those exact same keywords for a fraction of the cost. So, for example, here in Australia, solar. Solar is huge. I have a number of solar clients, and that's what I target. I target search intent keywords, and it works quite well. And the click cost is like a third. So that's why I like YouTube advertising over anything else, is because of the targeting, because of the data that you're able to tap into that Google owns.
Okay, amazing. So I got 3 questions that I want to ask, and then I got to wrap this up because we're coming close to the top of the hour. Number 1, like, what's the most you've spent, like either for yourself or one of your clients in any given month?
Any given month?
Yes.
What's the most I've spent?
On ads, on YouTube ads.
The most I've got any given month is probably around 103 grand.
Okay.
It was a coaching client who needed to fill like a few hundred people into a room. And so we just smashed it.
Went all
we
the way
just
down. Yeah.
pumped a lot of money into that campaign. Yeah.
Did it work out well?
That was probably the most that we've spent in 1 month, was probably just about 103 grand, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second one, for somebody who's not total beginner, but let's say they've done a little bit of marketing online, but they haven't really built out their tech stack. What do you think is a great starter to medium tech stack when it comes to online SaaS services, in order to be running ads from YouTube and having all the back end stuff taken care of?
So what kind of setup do they have?
Yeah. What do you recommend? There's like all these platform wars between GHL, ClickFunnels, what have you, right? What do you recommend?
So our setup is we run WordPress, right, for a landing page, and we use Optimize Press for the plugin, right? It's like a couple $100 a year for we have an agency one, but it's a couple $100 a year, right? So, and it works really well. It's super easy. And I like it better than ClickFunnels. And yeah. And then we have that. And then we have Entreport. So we use Entreport for our CRM. And then basically from there, so if we're running like a book a call, or if we're running an event, we'll have reminder emails, follow-up emails going out. We'll have reminder SMSs going out.
Does Entreport have a calendar feature now?
I don't know. We use Calendly.
Oh, you use Calendly and integrate that through Entreport.
I think Zapier connects to Calendly. Like I have a whole team that deals with all this. I kind of have a 30,000 foot view of what goes on, but yeah,
same here.
You start getting too much in the details. I'm like, I have to ask my team.
yeah. No, that's good.
But then we have like Calendly that books all the calls, and that books to our Google Calendar. And that's kind of the lead gen follow-up sequence we have. And then obviously we have like regular weekly content emails that go out, and because I'm putting together my own like YouTube channel, and so like every week we'll put out bits of my YouTube stuff and that kind of thing, and just to keep the list warm, and that's kind of the setup that we have right now.
Perfect.
I think that answers your question.
Yeah, you did. Thank you very much. And because I get that question all the time, and I think it's so different. I just want to demonstrate that with every person that's succeeding online, they have some different configuration, and everybody, it's just, I think there's 2 things. There's, the tools you need, and then your style of operating. That's just going to determine what works best for you. Or it could just be the first one you picked up and it just didn't bother to change, and you don't need to, right? If it ain't broke, why fix it, right?
Well, we've tried Go High Level.
Yeah.
We tried Active Campaign. We at some stage we will be moving to like HubSpot, Salesforce.
So you're going more like enterprise level then.
Yeah. But right now we're happy with Entreport, and well, it does everything. It does everything that we need. The only problem we have with Entreport, it struggles with multi currencies. So,
and you're going very international.
I'm like, come on, give me the program. Like the multi currencies would be perfect.
Okay, I got one last question. When you run ads on YouTube, is it important to have an active or even successful YouTube channel?
No.
Okay, explain that to me.
Not at all. Wait, man.
Would it even help?
No, doesn't make a difference.
Okay,
doesn't make a difference.
Walk me through this.
So we have people that come to us. Jono, for example, had an inactive YouTube channel. I think he had a few videos on there, but it's like stuff all. No subscribers, hardly any views. No. We had another called Steve Eagle. He runs importing, exporting coaching business here in Australia. No active YouTube. Came to us, nothing. It's brand spanking new. He's doing amazing with YouTube ads. Andrew and Daryl, they're doing fantastic with their stuff. No active YouTube channel. You don't need it. You don't need an active YouTube channel. You need a YouTube channel, but that's just to host your ads, put your ads on there. And even then your ads are all unlisted, so no one sees anything.
So you can't spy on your competitors' ads like you can on Facebook. Then.
You can. You can spy your competitors' ads. So there are tools that you can use to see what they're doing. If they're smart, if they know what they're doing and they put their ads on their channel, they'll put them as unlisted. But sometimes they may put them as public, and then you can go see what they're doing.
I see. Got it. All right.
But you don't need an active channel to do well with YouTube ads.
Great. I got to wrap this up in a second, but not before I invite all the listeners who've made it this far. And just like a YouTube video and a podcast, if you make it to the end, that means there's something of value to you, the listener. So, Marcus, break it down. Where can people go to find out more about what you do and potentially hire you to help them learn all about YouTube marketing?
Yeah, so you can go to titanmarketer.com. And on there, if you're in Australia, that might be, you're actually running an event in Brisbane. So you can go to titanmarketer.com, book a call with us, or you can go to, you can just email me. So you can email me at marcus@titanmarketer.com. And yeah, that'll work as well.
Okay. Sounds good. That's it, guys. Make sure, like if you're on YouTube, go down to the description, click the link. And if you're listening on the podcast, check out the show notes. There'll be links to Marcus's social media profiles and the resources he just described, which I do recommend you check out. That's it for now, guys. And I'll see you next week.